Quay. Morning, Reverend Ed Trevors. How you doing this morning? I got an issue. And no, this is not about personal this time. Although I'm sorry that I went, well, I had to anyway. Try this. Okay, I got one for you. You must have visited people in the prison systems. Maybe chatted for a few minutes with someone who got in trouble with the law. Have you ever come across a situation where you had a victim who wants to strip every piece of dignity from the guy who's going through the judicial system, as in taking away the name and dignity, stripping away everything of humanity of a shooter? I came across a news video in Florida a few days ago. There was a settlement agreed, and one of the victims now owns the name of the shooter. It's the Parkland shooter. Back in 2018, Parkland, Florida, high school, there was a shooter. Kid comes in, shoots up people left and right. One of the survivors was pissed off about it. He's gotten injured, he's got PTSD, but shooter got life. He's got multiple life terms. He's not getting out. The shooter's name was Nicholas Cruz. Try this one. Nicholas Cruz had just signed away his name and his dignity and everything else that is humanity to one of the survivors. Survivor was Joe Cavaretta. And apparently, this guy, in one piece of revenge, had vowed to take away a name of the shooter and every right he has, and successfully done so legally. Now, granted, the guy has got lifelong PTSD and he screwed up. Welcome to the club. I hadn't been in that situation regarding shots fired, but anything else regarding PTSD, yeah, so I know how that feels. Welcome to the club. But his situation had so much anger and vitriol burning inside of him that he decided to take away the rights and dignity and everything else being human from the shooter who did that horrible shooting. Actually, let's see. This is Anthony Borges, I think, was also one of the other guys. No, actually, the person I'm talking about, and I'm looking at a page of the Daily Beast. First headlines on this one reads: Anthony Borges, who was a freshman at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in 2018, when he was severely wounded by a rampaging gunman who had been given the rights to his attacker's name as part of a stunning civil settlement, according to his lawyer. The result of the negotiated settlement will mean that Borges has the final say over where, when, and how Nicholas Cruz speaks publicly about the Parkland shooting, including to authors, journalists, and documentarians, according to the South Florida Sun Sentinel, reported on Thursday. He signed over any rights to his name, Borges' lawyer said. Alex Arazia told the newspaper. The idea now is to shut him out. He will not be the one who decides when or how the story gets told. It was Reza, who coaxed Cruz, now 25 and serving 34 consecutive life sentences in a Florida prison, into handing over his rights to his name. He also convinced the gunman to agree to donate his brain for research after he dies. Look at that one. What turns a person into Nicholas Cruz? What is this something that we can learn by studying his brain? Borges was not present at a Zoom meeting where the lawyer and Cruz had hashed out the settlement, but his father, Royer Borges, was and told the Sun Sentinel, he felt after what he took from my son, whatever he owns in this world, we should take it from him. He made a decision to shoot the school. I am not God to make the decision to kill him or not. That's not my decision. My decision is to be a better person and to change the world for every kid. I don't want this to happen to anybody. Again, it hurts. It hurts. It really hurts. So I am just going to keep going. That's it. And according to the article again, Borges is 15 when Cruz shot him 5 times in the abdomen and shot him in different areas on February 14th, 2018. He was hailed as a hero for surviving the damn thing when he tried to shield his classmates from the lunatic. If I could send a PDF file to you, I probably would. I'm holding on to that one. Why? I got a problem concerning about human rights violations, including human dignity. Now, granted, I probably would be sympathetic to the victim at this point. Yeah, he's got every right and reason in the world to be angry at this point over here, but how much does anger usually tear a person apart left and right? But also anger and trying to have it disguised as justice is really vengeance. What did God ever say in the Bible? Justice is mine, saith the Lord. Yeah, but God never did say what kind of direction or what kind of tool he's going to be using for this. So is this an adequate tool for it? Yeah, I got a problem with this one. It's like, okay, back in the 1980s, okay, mid to late 80s, we actually had a guy named what the fuck was that? Hold on. Richard Ramirez. This lunatic would be entering homes and murdering, and just for the fun of it, he put the whole San Fernando Valley on edge. I was living there at the time in Granada Hills, and we were terrified at night. We had to close and lock up our places, and if we were out there alone, we had to watch ourselves. You finally got the guy. You got just to give a horror picture of yourself. I had to do a report a couple of semesters back, and I had to pick up this asshole, and I had to tell people directly what was going on. This was part of my presentation I did anyway for my English comp class. And I told him about Richard Ramirez. I told what terrified the people in the valley and how it terrified my family. We weren't victimized, but we were victimized. He died in prison. He died in prison. I think he was shanked or something. That guy was a nut job anyway. He liked helter skelter. He also liked putting a damn Nazi cross on his head. But I don't know. That's another lunatic we actually had locked a long time ago. Manson. I remember that schmuck too. My uncle worked on the case. My uncle was working for special prosecutor for San Diego. And he was in. Uh, yeah, he worked on the Manson case on that one. Even though they had the lead guy in there, but my uncle did do part of the special investigations on him. He was trying to get his criminal PhD and helped him out with that. Ramirez was one sick dude. I mean, I could go off on whatever every other racist could go over to describe this schmuck. I'm not about to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I wanted to forget this son of a bitch. He was one scary bastard. I thought Manson was nuts. Oh, just as nuts, like Ted Gacy. Or no, Ted Bundy? Gacy or Dahmer. Those psychopathic sons of bitches. Try this one. Try this one. What about if I wanted to own their names while they were alive? I'm not a victim. But why if I wanted to own their names? What I'm thinking about is basically stripping the guy of, even though he's in jail, the guy in jail is trying to tell his story his way. It'd be nice to find out what the hell was going on inside this guy's brain through his stories to see if there was any kind of element of truth. What was his story? What was his major malfunction going through this kind of psychological shit he's going through his head? I mean, part of my language at this point, but man, this really pissed me off. I know what it's like to seek revenge. I know what it's like to want to go after another person that hurt you. Trust me, I know that one. A tire dropper. When I worked at Walmart for 5 years, last 4 years, I was in the automotive department. I sold tires, oil. I wasn't a mechanic. I was just a guy punching buttons on the computer, selling stuff to people. I didn't know anything about mechanics, but I had to ring stuff up anyway. But I could sell you tires because I was equipped for that. I could ring up your oil service, no problem. I look at a tire and say, oh, you want that one? Okay, no problem. I could also get the tires down. My body wasn't destroyed during that time. Fourth tier, 4 hour, 4 carry out, uh, no installation, just the rubbers. I know they made of different materials, but I still call them rubbers anyway. So a fourth tier, I need to get a safety ladder. I don't have a safety ladder. My supervisor, who's been in there several months, he wants to get sales. He's so excited to get in sales, even if they're just carry out. But they should have been better because it would have been installation, and that would have been money and everything else. That's what he's thinking at that point. But good customer service, he's got to do his best. He's got to be like Spider-Man, climbing up on the tires, getting in between the tires and the tiers, and dropping them like hand grenades without warning people. One fell on my face. Say hello to PTSD and a bad back and a bad neck. No apology from the company and no apology from him. He never did, never could. Tried once. Yeah, bad feelings, bad juju, and bad all around towards the company. Every time I come across a Walmart, I'm like, almost feeling the same thing every time I keep going to Walmart.com. Anything regarding the Walmart name is like blood pressure rising. I never did get any satisfaction. I mean, I tried legal route, didn't work. Confronted the guy with my brother just to talk. He couldn't. He wasn't. He was too busy. Too busy. There was a thing in 12-step about trying to make amends. I wasn't forcing him to make amends. I was trying to tell him about my part in the situation. I tried to hold no personal grudges and feelings towards the guy. I mean, I tried. To this day, I said, okay, it's God's hands, not mine. He screwed himself over a few more times. I figured karma's going to get him, not me. As long as I don't go after him. As long as I don't go after with the hate and vengeance in my heart. And believe me, I wanted to hate this son of a bitch. But it's not worth it. because I felt how it was changing me into a worthless, rotten, sorry son of a sea dog. But did I have a right to go after him and take away his dignity, his right to be a human being? A violator who damn near killed me. But did I have a right to go after him for that? No, I don't. My question to that survivor that they've been talking about for the past few days: is it his right to take away the shooter's dignity? Of course, he's trying to take away a way of keeping the shooter from profiting. He didn't want the shooter to profit, make any money off the misery. Yeah, you still need to find out what the hell was going on inside the other guy's head, but to silence him? I mean, literally to silence him? And to take that guy's name away? Is it possible? Is it possible to stoop that low in vengeance, that hatred and anger? Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of anger. That's a lot. I mean, yeah, he's been through a shooting. He got shot by the shooter. He survived. And it seems like revenge was the only thing he had in his mind. He just got turned into Frankenstein's monster without even realizing it. I know some people are going to be saying, "How dare I? How dare I talk about these things?" My question is, why would you want the guy's name? Why would you want his? Why would you want his name? You're going to be associated with the guy who just shot you. That's your vengeance? Karma's got a way of biting him in the ass at this point over here. But if this guy ever considered himself a follower of Christ, I remember a 12 step, he's going to have a lot of amends to make on this one. I know the guy had been victimized, and he's still being victimized. He's being victimized because he's allowing his hate and his lust for vengeance. It's not justice, it's vengeance. I know God uses people left and right. We have the justice system. It isn't perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to work. There's no such thing as perfect justice. Only on our screwed up heads do we have that. It's like, okay, let me try this one. It's going to piss you off. I have come into your home now, and I'm looking for a victim. And I happen to see something or someone very precious. You're going to run to protect that person. You shield that person. But I don't care. I want blood. I'm sick in the head. And then with something used, you're taking the shield and you got injured severely. Your family may be safe. You took the blunt. I'm running away. I'm laughing my head off. I did what I did. And I'm going somewhere else. And then someone puts me in jail. I get prosecuted. But let's just say that besides your family, I did some dastardies up and down your area. And I'm laughing my head off, going, ha 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 ha. Or probably not laughing, just crazed look or something like that, with a weapon. And I get put to jail and I get life terms. My question, you survived. How are you marinating in this? How are you going to marinate in this? Ah, how is your faith? Let's say if you were of a faith. Now I know you are a faith. You believe in Christ in your own way. You're Episcopalian. But I'm saying I am a guy that goes into your home. Even as this tape is rolling right now, even as you're watching me, I have just walked into your home. I've already had blood on my hands. I already had a weapon. I've already been damaged, okay? And now I see your family, your dog, and you're the one blocking. So you get the brunt and you survive. You spend months of rehab in the hospital. But you come out and you're still walking and breathing. Between the time that you got the injury and the time you walked out of the hospital, left you in the bed marinating. You take away your faith at this point. You're just a man. You're not an Episcopalian reverend. You're just a man who I just tried to assault. And how that long time? How are you dealing with it? Marinating in that anger, the memories, the pain, the crying like crazy, waking up in the middle of the night pleading, why? And then somehow the voice of justice, vengeance, or whatever it is, convinces you, you gotta take control. You gotta take control. You're gonna take everything from this guy. You're gonna take everything from me. And you'll get that idea in your head. So sounding sickly smooth, silky smooth, so easy, so, and that you are starting to think about it. You don't talk about it, but you're starting to think about it. It's getting your gears marinated in it. You're drowning in it. And then you don't feel what you're feeling right now, but you're feeling like human. And you want payback because they damn near took away your family. I nearly took away your family. I came into your home. I already did a lot of people up and down the street just now at this moment. I see your family. I'm going to get them. And you had to be the sucker to get them. Ooh, you'll get yours anyway. I get out. I'm going to get everybody again. Cause I'm that crazy. It's probably proven that the guy who's probably mournful, or maybe he's not, he just looks at the judge like, who gives a shit anymore? Look at you, dead eye. Look at you with eyes of a shark, soulless, lifeless. It just give you a chill down your throat, give you a chill down your back. But I decide I'm going to capitalize on this stuff. I'm going to write my will. I'm going to write it my way. You're still going to be victimized. I'm going to write books and stories I'm allowed to write. I got a prison library. I've got pen and paper and computers and printers and stuff. I will write my stuff. What are you going to do about it? And then your lawyer, has an issue. Mama, come here, babe. She didn't see me. Yeah, she's acting up again. And then your lawyer cites, what if we fight back here? He's got nothing else left to get. Yeah. Well, what about his name? He's profiting off of his name. Well, then we got to get the profits off of him somehow. One or both of you come up with the idea of stripping the guy's dignity and humanity. Hell, he's already tried to take away your family's humanity at this point over here and everybody else. Is it considered justice to do so? But now you're going to take away the man himself. What makes him a man? Despite the fact, and I know hang on a second. I'm getting it. It's got a melodrama here, but I got to get her first. Hold on a second. She must be obeyed. But you get the point. You get some kind of point over here. I mean, yeah, the guy probably would deserve to get his name and his reputation taken away because he did harm on a lot of people, including the survivor of a shooting. And the guy was hailed a hero because he shielded other kids from this lunatic. So now the lunatic is out there trying to make a name for himself. Again. So is this considered justice or not? To strip and take away that shooter's way. I keep thinking of Mary Shelley's book, The Promethean Man. The story of Frankenstein and the creature. But in the story, as I look at it from a 12-step point of view, who's the creature and who's the monster? Who's the creator? Who created who? Is it not enough that the guy is in jail? He's never coming out until he's a body bag. But now you got to own this killer. You got to own the killer's name. Reverend Ed Trevors, your name, your reputation, your dignity, everything that you know in that name and that title is yours. John Cameron Weaver. That's me. I've had it ever since I was born. I had my birth certificate. Nobody's taken that away from me. Nobody's taken away my dignity of any sort. Even if I happen to go out there in the world, I said if. And I went to Nova Scotia. Right now. At this very second of the taping here. While you're watching this on screen, I'm going over to Nova Scotia. And I go over to your neighbor. Or actually into your neighborhood. And I do the dastardies all over the place. And then your place. Dastardies. Oops. Well, he'll die off anyway. So I'm running off and I got captured by the cops. And I goes to the prison. I go to the jail cells. And I'm given life. I don't know how Canada's system works. But if you're in the United States, depends on which particular state's got the death penalty or life. Because with that many tragedies happening, some states, yeah, definitely will put you for life. But if they got special circumstances attached to it, but the killer is alive. He's in the jail of Florida. He's not getting out. He'll talk to people about it. What the victim was trying to go for was a way to silence him and make him non-existent by owning that name. And therefore silencing him one way or another. Owning that name and owning that much more control over him. Is that justice? Or is that vengeance? It's bad enough if the victim went out or hired someone to get the guy eliminated. He just became the monster. He just became the creature. And in my mind, when a bully victimizes a person, there are things happening inside that victim. The victim wants payback, wants vengeance, wants revenge. He's going to have it. Why? Because he had been victimized. How dare he be victimized? You cannot victimize me. I'm whoever and whatever I am. But I just been victimized by this bully. He took away everything I had, including my dignity, my self-respect, and everything else. And I was trying to help people out. And the people said, "You did good. You did okay. You're a hero." No, he took everything from me. He must pay. What do we keep seeing in our damn stories? What do we keep seeing? Payback after payback after payback after payback. Yeah, let's not open up that Pandora's box of the other one, okay? But I'm saying, payback. And in no inherited expression, payback is a Come here, honey. She is so stressed out, it's not even funny. Come here, honey. I'll get you fed, I'll get you fed. I'll get you some food. I still saved her hamburger from last night. Johnny makes burgers for the mama. But she is stressing. She is stressing. She's stressing a great deal. I don't know what's going on. But she is not happy. She is not happy. Okay, honey. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about that one and see if you would understand the point of views going on that I'm dealing with here. Just how far a guy can go and not turn into the creature. If the guy can look at himself in the mirror, what's he going to think about himself and feel about himself? And how would he be able to deal with God on this one? I'm not going to question the guy's faith. They never mentioned about his faith. They only mentioned about the things happened. But they're not doing a deep dive on this guy, what his faith was. And I'm not doing a deep dive on this guy. Because his faith and his belief in God is between him and God on this one. If it were me, it would be hard not to for me to seek vengeance. But since when vengeance brought back life, dignity, self-respect. If I happen to cross that line, Reverend, if I happen to perform the actual instead of the hypothetical, if I had actually, in this time and space as we're filming this thing, let's get the time index on this one, okay? It's 12:24 p.m. West Coast time. It is Friday. It is the 12th of July. Let's just say, for that hypothetical situation, on July 12th, 2024, at 12:24 p.m., I'm there, doing the deed. I'm making monsters. She is really stressed out. Looks like I'm going to have to cut this thing short, Arab. She's having an issue. She's royally having an issue. I thought she was having an issue last night, but man, she's getting that way. She's getting that way. She's scared. Something spooked her. When we had the fires past couple of weeks, July 4th weekend, she was having conniptions over this. She smelled smoke in the air. She smelled the sulfur of the fireworks. But most of the time she was just sleeping it off. Something outside spooking her. Or maybe it's inside, I don't know. Anyway, I gotta see what the hell's going on with her dog. I will talk to you later.